two teams are going, talk about the night, welcome the viewers online, and you can even mention, or I'm happy to mention, the other games around the ground tonight as well. Just mention that it's like a rescheduled match round of 13. Yeah, that's fine, bro. Yeah, it might be. They probably do it over the loudspeaker. So
there's lots of variables.
Yeah. Don't stress too much.
It's 30 seconds. Where most of us are still going to play that.
Yeah.
It's already on. So
Which one's mute, that one?
So this red one here, so it's already on. You can see it. I've got you on 3. This one is actually this tune for that one. So this is the only 7 o'clock game, and then there's 3 games at 8.
Are they all tonight?
Oh, there's a couple.
Yeah. There's 1 or 2 games on Wednesday. Yeah, so sorry. So there's 2 tonight, 2 tomorrow. Nice.
That will be fun.
Oh, Bellswing's got a list.
Hit it forward, hard tackles. Like, there's not a lot of style.
They're in the mixer for finals.
Exactly right. There's not a lot of style, but because they are very much themselves, a lot of teams don't know how to handle it.
Jaffers are in the 6th. Bro, we scored 12 goals. Hey, Lambton have scored more goals.
How many have we conceded?
17. Oh, no, sorry. 14. So, the third least behind Azzurri.
Only one team's out, so probably like 30 seconds to remember. Ready to go?
Good evening and welcome to Order Park, where under the lights we have a clash that means a lot to both of these sides. It's the host New Lambton battling to climb off the foot of the ladder as they take on the formidable Charlestown Azzurri, who sit quite comfortably in 4th position. Shane Price's side are eager for maximum points in their fight against relegation. Meanwhile, for the visitors, they look to solidify what has been a strong campaign thus far. The host New Lambton are coming off the back of a difficult trip to Western, where they were down 5-0 at Rockwell Automation Park. While for the visitors tonight, they left Arthur-Redden on Saturday with only a point, as a late Carter Smith goal meant the two sides shared the points. I'm Harry Scobie, and with me tonight is Lambton Jaffers fullback Matthew Butner. Matt, what are you expecting to see tonight?
Yeah, cheers, Scobie, and it's an exciting game tonight under the lights, like you said, and we've got match of the round 13, the rescheduled game after a month of rainy weather. And yeah, look, I think it's a really important game for both clubs, especially New Lambton. If they want to stay in the top flight of Newcastle NPL. They need points now, and they need it desperately. They're sitting at the bottom of the table with 3 points, 10 points Adamstown. So they're not even close at the moment. And as we, get closer to that end point of the season, Scobie, like I said, it's now or never. Charlestown coming off a 1-1 draw on the weekend, and they're looking good. They're sitting in 4th position at the moment. Expectations every year with this big club to play finals football. And I think it's going to be really important the first 20 minutes for either club. Whoever comes out on top early and strong, I think is going to go a long way to winning this game. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, Scobes. Yeah,
well, obviously it was a frustrating outing for New Lambton on Saturday, Matt. They travelled to Rockwell Automation, which isn't an easy place to go. But what do you think your message is if you're a New Lambton player tonight, heading out there against what is a very strong Charlestown backline as well?
Yeah, look, they've obviously conceded a lot of goals this season, and they're coming off a 5-0 thrashing. And Western are on fire this year, to be honest. They've got a great squad, great potential, and they're knocking on the door to play finals football as well. Sitting in a really good position. New Lambton need to bounce back. They need to put that result beside them. They need to put the season's results beside them, and they really need to regroup tonight. Pito needs to get the young boys going, and they need to make sure that they get a really good start early, because it's so important now that they just put that result behind them and take on the opponent tonight, which is Charlestown.
Yeah, it certainly is. And obviously we look at their home record this season. I mean, they haven't been good on the road and at home, but you feel like tonight could be a big statement win for this New Lambton side. They've got a busy month in July. They've got a few home games here, which they really need to pick up maximum points, as we mentioned, in their fight against relegation. Well, for Charlestown Buttes, I mean, not what they would have wanted on Saturday, a point against the Jaffers, but they are welcoming Taylor Regan back to the starting squad tonight. How much of a lift will he give this Charlestown side?
Yeah, of course. Like Taylor Regan and all his experience, it's a massive, introduction back into the squad for Charlestown. And there's no doubt he knows the importance of this game, but he also knows it can be a banana slip. And I'm sure he's revving up the boys. You can already hear him vocal now, making sure, the first 10 minutes or so is crucial. Massive introduction to the team. And yeah, like you said, Scobes, they need these points tonight. And here we go. Pito with the ball.
We're underway here at Order Park. It's New Lambton just pumping it along at the minute. Bit of scrap early on, but it falls to Gora. Looks to take on his defence. It's a crucial block. And Matt Hill will clear it for Charlestown. Tom O'Connor winning the ball back here. He looks to go on a bit of a run into the box.
Positive start from New Lambton, Scobes. Starting on the front foot. Bit of pressure up front, and, expect a cagey affair in this first 10 minutes or so. Again, both clubs know the importance of this game.
Yeah, most certainly. As we saw there, Charlestown just having to sort of scramble there. Looks like Nathan Verity goes long here. So they go back to Sam Esclin. Pito wins that header there. As you can hear the shouts, get it on the deck, just get the ball moving. Brilliant play there by Kent Harrison. He drives into the box, cuts it in. It's comfortable.
Yeah, positive play from Ken, and he's one of those players for New Lambton. I think tonight, if they're going to call on anyone, it has to be him. He's got the more experience up front for those young boys for New Lambton, and nice little slick move down the left side there. Matty Hull was good on the weekend. Just see how this one plays out, Scopes.
See here, Escalon had to come out of his box out. It was a crucial touch.
Yeah, just getting back to that point, Matty Hull, Mr. Consistent for me for Charlestown. Again, one of the experienced boys as well. He was class on Saturday against the Jaffers. Just got undone there quickly.
I think Jackson McClymont will line up this throw. Look to go long, deep into the box. It's played into a dangerous area. Still a bit of a scramble into the box. New Lambton fully haven't cleared it yet. Shot comes in. A few air swings there, but New Lambton can now break through Gora. He sends one out to Ken Harrison. Harrison with a delightful switch out to the right. It's New Lambton look to just play in Charlestown's half. It was played in and cleared by Verity. bit of a cagey start. You can already see Butts. Both teams just trying to find each other. But it's New Lambton. They've looked good when they break.
Yeah, for sure. A little sweeping move there. Left down to the right side. Good switch. And they're applying pressure. They're holding the ball well. The pitch is actually holding up quite nice. It's not as cold as you'd think for the viewers back at home. It's actually quite a nice evening night at Outer Park. Just interesting, Scobie. We just saw the long throw come out for Charlestown. It's been a tool of theirs this year. And I know as a defender, it's pretty difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to deal with those, not off a throw-in, not in those areas. You're asking a lot from the keeper in the back line. And that's actually how they got their goal against the Jaffas on the weekend. So expect a little bit more of that.
Ray Ferguson in the tussle here. He wins a free kick just over the halfway line after a foul from Caleb Reid. Last time these sides did meet, it was Charlestown back in round 2, who did pick up a 3-0 victory. Been good this season, Charlestown, but they know they need maximum points towards the back end of the season. As Taylor Egan now looks to use Verity. Verity in that more left back or left centre back, as you could say, sort of position.
Yeah, somewhere I think Verity's a little bit more comfortable with. But I also think it would have been very harsh if he had lost his starting role after the weekend's performance. I thought he was exceptional.
Yeah.
It's good to see that he's still on the pitch.
Never easy marking someone like Archie Finn, the way he uses his body, and he's definitely a threat up top for the Jaffas. That result, if you didn't know, ended 1-1 at Arthur Eden on Saturday afternoon. A point for the Jaffas as they are in action tonight, actually, against Broadmeadow Magic as a break down the left here. A great tackle there in the end. Go out for a throw-in.
Expect that long throw-in against Scobie. Here it comes.
It's proved havoc already in the early stage of this one. Let's see what it can conjure up here. Goes deep. Renee Ferguson gets his head onto it. Cleared by Tom O'Connor. See some space out here for Kent Harrison. Hasn't got many options. It's a great tackle there from Matt Hall. Wins the ball back. Now Charlestown can just settle on the ball. Just keep their possession back. Taylor Egan opts to go long early. Matthew Hall inside. And Lundy. Looks like the foul on Matthew Hall will be given out on the right here. And Butts, this could be a dangerous position if you're a New Lambton defender here.
Yeah, definitely. You know, Charlestown just enjoying a little bit of possession there, and you know, all the class from Taylor Regan. Just putting that ball in the right side. Finding that man, Matt Hall, who won the foul. The referee was looking to play advantage, but nothing was doing. Didn't progress to anything. And yeah, like you said, they're in a really good position now to apply a little bit of pressure. Test out this young keeper.
It's going to be the right foot of Matthew Hall to take. We're looking at some of those more taller bodies in the area. Taylor Egan positioning himself offside as it stands, but he'll be sure to get back on side and hopefully get on the end of this one. Matt Hall delivers. It's very deep. Just too much on that, but that's the area you sort of wanted in, deep in that back post, Butts.
Yeah, it's not a bad area. Again, you know, you've got some tall timber in Charlestown, and you've got boys that can find the back of the net on those corners, those throw-ins, those set pieces. And I said it on the weekend, Jaffas and Charlestown, but Charlestown especially, they're a physical side and they're a threat on the set pieces. So if you're New Lambton, you want to try and limit them as much as possible tonight.
Certainly are, as Esquint sends that one long. Pitto wins out. Josh Pittington, the experienced campaigner for New Lambton. You feel like he's sort of the player that needs to lift spirits within the New Lambton squad, especially considering where they sit currently on the ladder. He's vital for them.
Well, yeah, of course, Scobie. He asked me at the start of the game, you know, what had to be said before coming into this game if you were in the New Lambton shed, and you know, he would have been the voice that would have been most present, and he would have been urging the boys on for sure. You know, making them known that this game is well important, and under lights as well. It poses a different threat. You know, it's different. It's outside of your normal daytime football. And I feel like New Lambton, as they break away now, they're going to grow in confidence the longer they stay in this game.
Yeah, you feel like it could be one of those matches. That's a foul over the halfway line. And a yellow card dished out there. Just an uncalled for turnover there from Charlestown. And like you mentioned, I feel like it could be one of those nights where, like you said, New Lambton just staying in that game for as long as they can. But they'll push their bodies forward here. Hopefully get on the end of this one.
Yeah, you've got to take into consideration, Scobie, as New Lambton have got a good opportunity here with the set piece. And, you know, it's only a 48-hour, 72-hour turnaround from the weekend's game, so fatigue's going to play a role.
See that delivery to the front stick. Caleb Reed gets his head onto it and opens the scoring here for New Lambton. It was a great delivery, and I think the Charlestown players were trying to play the offside trap, maybe their Buttes, and Caleb Reed's got his head onto it and opened the scoring for New Lambton.
Yeah, wow. 1-0 to the hosts, and it's a well-executed free kick. And it came out of nowhere, Scobie, to be honest. A little breakaway from New Lambton. Like you said, poor turnover from Charlestown, and something out of nothing, but it's probably a reward for their consistent pressure, I guess, in the first 10-15 minutes. They've started this game really well, and they've got a reward for it. That man just getting his, I think it was his head, maybe his foot on the end of it. It was a wicked ball in. It's 1-0 to New Lambton at home.
Certainly was, and you can tell the reaction by some of the younger New Lambton players behind the goal there. Really out in support of their team tonight, and they do take the lead. Charlestown immediately back onto the front foot for Reese McManus on the right. It's a good reaction there from Charlestown, and they will earn themselves a corner.
Well, yeah, that's their first goal in almost 4 weeks, Scobie. So, you know, the club's no doubt buzzing. They know how important this game is. Again, I'm stressing it a lot, but you know how exciting to be 1-0 up against Charlestown in a game that means so much. There's no doubt the club wants to stay in the top flight football in Newcastle. They're doing all the right things right now. They have to defend this corner from Matt Hull.
Hull delivers. It's Taylor Regan that does get his head onto it. There's question marks over whether there was a foul in the box on Piddington. But that header just over the top there from the experienced Taylor Regan. Looks like New Lambton will look to play long here in the early stages. Like you mentioned, Buttes, it's one of their first goals in a while. They've really been hard done by. They've actually had to face the likes of Edgeworth and Magic in these past couple of weeks, who are never easy to score against. But when you've got a back line of Taylor Regan and Matt Hull, Nathan Verity, you must be pleased to score early on.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like you said, New Lambton, they've struggled over the last couple of weeks, but in all fairness, they're coming up against the league leaders. You know, Edgeworth, they had Broadmeadow a couple of weeks ago, and then Western on the weekend. And they're the top three on-form clubs who referees saying nothing doing at the moment.
Bit of a scrap there in the middle of the park. Verity now looks to play that one too. Space out on this right-hand side. It will go to Matthew Hull. Plays a lovely ball. The chip intended for Reno. Reno Ferguson just couldn't get on the end of that one. And Kent Harrison will break up against his opposite number, Matt Hull.
It's been a good battle thus far. Matt Hull, Ken Harrison down this left side. Keep an eye on that one as the game progresses. But yeah, just as I was mentioning, Scobie, you know, positions 3rd to 10th on the competition for the men's NPL is very tight. It's very tight. There's plenty of positions up for grabs for finals football. But those top 3 positions look like they're pretty locked in at the moment.
Frendo tries to look for McManus. That pass is just too overhit. But yeah, I mean, it is quite tight. And as we mentioned, we've got another game tonight that could really play a big part in that top 6, especially for the Lambton Jaffers. That one kicks off at 8 o'clock. You can catch that live on YouTube. But towards this back end of the season, the message from most coaches must be, you know, we've got to get maximum points towards this back end of the season.
Yeah, of course. And, you know, with the wet weather that we did have over that last month, there's a backlog of games. A lot of teams have got plenty of games to be played. And like I said earlier, fatigue's going to take a massive factor. Injuries at this time of the season as well. Charlestown, as we've already noticed on the weekend, lost a handful of players. A little bit slim on the bench as well. A couple of reserve boys on the bench tonight. It's gonna prove really important come the end of the season, which we're approaching very fast.
Certainly are. Approaching the back end of the season. But this is a game tonight that can really lift spirits within the New Lambton camp if they are to remain and hold on to get those 3 points. You know, one thing about Charlestown, they knew on the weekend when they were ahead 1-0, they had to stay in the game for the 90 because the Jaffers obviously did hit back. And they're just trying to rush that pass at the minute. It's just not working. New Lambton are happy to play this sort of game. Just sit back as Caleb Reid drives through. Tom O'Connor in the middle of the park. Plays it out wide. O'Connor. Back to Piddington. Ferguson holds it up. They'll use Escalent and just reset through the New Lambton keeper. Taylor Regan wins that header well. It's played back down, and Regan will reset for his defensive partner. Sends one out here to McManus. He's getting at his defender here. He's done well. Just searching for options. They've done well there. Jackson McClellan want to win out on this right side here. So you see now Regan again looking for that long ball. That's a better pass. A little ding, Reed Ferguson at front stick. They will allow themselves a corner, but better from Charlestown.
Yeah, small shouts for handball there. Referee says nothing doing. But a wicked ball from Regan. And it just opened up the goal scorer from the weekend against the Jaffers. In a really tidy position there. They've earned themselves another corner. Charlestown just knocking on the door again, and these set pieces are dangerous for them.
Shown throughout the majority of this contest that their set pieces have been crucial. We've got another one here through Matt Hull, who will take that far left-hand side. Hull delivers Regan in amongst the pack. Shouts again for handball. The ref's not interested as we talk, and now Gora can break. But Matt Hull does his defensive duties and does well there to drop back. Frendo now, out wide to McManus. McManus delivers to that front stick. It's a teasing ball. And off the post there at the back stick. New Lambton just struggling to get out of their own half as we speak. That was a chance there for the visitors.
Yeah, massive. And Charlestown are just tightening the screws now. Really good possession at the moment. And a wicked ball from McManus on the right side. Just skimming past that 6-yard box in between the defenders and the goalkeeper. So he actually got on the end of it, and it just struck the post with venom.
Matt Hull here, finding himself in the middle of the park. Feeds one out wide. It's well done there. Gore now trying to hold up play. He's earned himself a foul in front of the Azzurri bench.
Yeah, well defended ultimately, but Charlestown, we know what they have, and you know, they're going to keep knocking on the door for these 90 minutes, Scobie. New Lambton, I think, are going to keep growing in confidence as they remain 1-0 up, but tell you what, that wasn't far off from an equaliser.
Certainly was. These wide areas have proved dangerous in the early stages for Charlestown. Something to keep an eye on for New Lambton's both their fullbacks. Volofsky filling in for Ben McNarama, who I believe is still out injured. Would have been disappointed to concede that one goal to Carter Smith last week. So now O'Connor misses a header. Verity now. Verity trying to play a 1-2 down that left-hand side. The space out here on the right. It's a dangerous switch, but Matt Hull chests that one back to his centre-back. Now they look long for McManus. Just cut off there. Recovered by Ellington. Great challenge there by Caleb Reid. Kent Harrison can break here. He's got options in Gora. Uses Tom O'Connor. Connor, let's fly. It's a great save there from Velofsky. But again, Kent Harrison down this left-hand side, really creating trouble for Charlestown.
Yeah, great breakaway play from New Lambton there. Good little hustle on this close touchline to the camera. And yeah, Kent Harrison with some positive play finds Tommy O'Connor inside. He let it rip from about 25 yards out, and it forced a great save from the young keeper again, who's proved super handy coming in from the injured number 1 in Charlestown. They find themselves with a pretty positive attacking corner right now. Try and flex ahead 2-0. How good would that be?
It'll be the dream start. It's right on the keeper. Caleb Reid gets a double. There was confusion inside the box, but I think it's Caleb Reid at the double. I mean, a centre-back getting a double. And New Lambton lead this game 2-0. No complaints from Charlestown. Really dangerous corner, and Caleb Reid fires the home side ahead 2-0.
Wow, it is a dream start for the home side at Outer Park, and hasn't this been an upset so far, Scobie? I don't think anyone thought this was how this game was going to be playing out. And it's 2-0 to the home side. And that man, Caleb Reid, 2 goals to his name already.
Tell you what, we've mentioned Kent Harrison so much in this game, but that delivery is exactly where you want it, right on the keeper. And I think it was just fell to Caleb Reid, and he was joining on the spot. And I'll tell you what, the New Lambton faithful that have turned up tonight, there's a few of their academy and junior players here, they are absolutely loving it because their side lead 2-0 in this one. Mountain to climb here for Charlestown. It's looking a bit disjointed as we speak, and it's the host definitely with the momentum, Buttes. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, a game of football, as we know, that changes quickly. 5 minutes ago, we had Charlestown struck in the post. It could have been 1-1. And then we get a breakaway from New Lambton, and they go up 2-0. Like you said, a great delivery from Ken Harrison. Just putting a backspin on that young keeper and forcing him to get something on it. And ultimately, they're getting the second ball at the bottom, the crumbs. They just look hungry at the moment, New Lambton.
They do, and it's never easy coming up against the back line in the experience that Charlestown has, but 2-0 lead as that ball is whipped in. That's more comfortable there for Velosky. He's had a tough start so far, but he'll look to pump this one long. Looks for McManus. Tommy O'Connor had a positive start in the middle of the park for New Lambton to start this one. It's the one that earned his side a corner. It's New Lambton here. Gora. Just tussling in the middle of the park there. Just looking for options. He's dispossessed. It will go out for a New Lambton throw, I'd presume.
Yeah, you can see just the crowd and the New Lambton players getting a little bit more vocal now, filled with confidence at the moment. You know how important that second goal was. Just gives them that little buffer. It is a scary scoreline, 2-0 for any footballer, but tell you what, they're looking good right now, Scobie.
Certainly is, and like we mentioned, this would be Charlestown Azzurri's first win if they were to go on and get the 3 points tonight. They've the 3 points they do have on the table has been 3 draws from this season, so like you mentioned, Butte, still a long way to go in this one, and like you mentioned, football can change really quickly, but they've put themselves in the right position so far.
Yeah, no doubt, and look, I wouldn't write off Charlestown by all means. I think they've got enough quality on the pitch to come back into this game. It's going to be a true test for New Lambton to see if they can see this one out and get their first 3 points of the season. It's also going to be a test for Charlestown, under pressure, under lights, a game that I think everyone in the competition assumed they were going to win, and they would have bookmarked this 3 points as well in their calendar. So, you know, this is really important to see how they respond to this adversity, being down 2-0 to the bottom of the table.
Ferguson with a flick on. Really had me troubled there for a second, but Escalon holds that one well. Just wonder, Buttes, whether that turnaround could have a factor from Charlestown. I mean, they do have a very strong side out there, just not showing that energy in the opening stages.
Yeah, I think maybe the lack of energy, but I think New Lambton have just had a little bit more, in all honesty. A little bit of favour as well, a little bit more ticker. And they've been rewarded for their hard work and a bit of quality in the front third as well, and the delivery.
Matt Hall finds. McManus was robbed out. Taylor Regan does well, shows the experience and sends one out to Verity. They'll utilise this long throw again. Put some timber in the box here. It's high, aimed for Ferguson. Piddington prevents that one from a corner. Be a throw in to the visitors. That throw, this time around, just doesn't go to anyone and goes behind for a goal kick. I mean, Butts, looking at the sort of players like your Regan Lundys, your Reece McManus to sort of spark something here, sort of their attack line to get them well back into this one, because, like you mentioned, New Lambton have started strong, but it's going to be those players like the Renee Fergusons to get Charlestown back into this game.
Yeah, of course, I think so. They've got enough quality up front. We were talking, me and Chris, on the weekend as we called the Jaffas and Charlestown game. They have a number of players in their side that have scored goals this season. They don't have one player who's scored all of their goals. It's been a mix, plenty of goals that have come from the club as well. So there's a number of names that could pop up tonight and be the hero for Charlestown. I have no doubt they have the strike power. It's just whether or not they can unlock this New Lambton defence, which in all honesty has been quite brittle this season. So, again, massive test for New Lambton. They're currently holding a clean sheet. Can they continue that?
Certainly going to be the aim for the remainder of this one. Verity will take this throw-in. Tom O'Connor clears it up the other end. Taylor Regan will head that one back forward. Caleb Reed now looks to chip that one out wide, but Matt Hoole almost wins out there. Shouts for a free kick, but Lundy. That's a foul though. Right on halfway. Jackson Frendo fouled there. There'll be a yellow card to Riley Parker. Charlestown just holding the possession, looking for a spark. We've seen Taylor Regan knock a few long balls. He's happy to just reset as it is. Kieran Hayes now. It's more of a patient build-up here, Butts, from Charlestown. Just looking to maybe find an opening out wide, as we see Verity here. Plays a 1-2, finds in the middle of the park. He looked for that return ball. Gora now on halfway, coming back from an offside position though.
Yeah, it wasn't far off from pulling that one off, Verity. Slick little move down the left side. But, yeah, as you said, I think a bit of a reset approach from Charlestown. They're looking to just slow things down, try to play through the lines a little bit, create quality opportunities more than quantity at the moment as Regan goes long.
Certainly does. That's a good header. Just can't keep that out from being a throw-in.
I have no doubt Charlestown will have their opportunities this game. It's just how high quality are those opportunities and whether they take them.
Kieran Hayes decides to loft that one forward. It's a little bit of a scramble in the box, but it's Tom O'Connor, who's been everywhere for New Lambton in these opening stages, who wins out. Now they look to utilise Kent Harrison. That pass just didn't hit its target.
They've definitely got an energy about them tonight, New Lambton. Really playing this game out really well at the moment. Charlestown probably enjoying more of the possession of the last 10 minutes or so, but New Lambton sitting in a tight block. Right as a loose ball goes through the middle now.
It's very loose, but Kieran Hayes does well to regather that one. Matt Hoole will use Elkington. Hoole again. It's a cheeky little chip. Shot there. Just falls into the path of Escalon. They'll be happy with that, Charlestown. They'll be happy to keep this pressure up and try and find that, I guess, goal back. Feel like a goal before half-time could lift spirits. There's Lundy down the right here. Robbed of possession by Kent Harrison. He just lofts that one forward. Verity immediately looks for that long throw. It's Tyrone Cousins in the corner. Verity going on a little run here and almost paid off again. He's liked getting into those forward areas of New Lambton now. Gora doesn't earn himself a throw. He's up against a very experienced defender tonight, Gora. He's up against Taylor Egan, who will, I'm sure, be looking to lift the vibe and the moves within the Charlestown side.
Yeah, no doubt. I don't think he would have expected to be 2-0 down to New Lambton tonight, but yeah, he'll play a crucial role for Charlestown, especially in the halftime talk as well.
Yeah.
Make sure they get back into this game. But yeah, such experience, and it's good to see a player of his calibre playing in this NPL football as well. Great experience, but also a great opportunity for the young players through Charlestown to learn from him.
Verity down the left. Tried to look for the run of McManus. Looks like McManus Buttes has switched to that left-hand side. Starting to see Regan Lundy out on the right here.
They seem to be going down the left side a little bit more now with Verity also. They would elect to go the long throw in once again.
Ferguson robbed out by Pennington, but only as far as a corner. This is where Charlestown look to utilise their strengths. As we mentioned earlier, they've been very dangerous from those long throw-ins and set pieces, but they need to turn that into the back of the net. Big chance here. It's the Matt Hull to deliver. Swings it into a dangerous area. Pinball in the area. Ooh, Sam Escalent comfortably claims that one and sees off another Charlestown attack.
Yeah, good composure from the young keeper, and it was Verity with the header at the end there. And again, you think it's just a matter of time now. If you keep giving Charlestown set pieces, they're just going to get one of them. Matt Hall with a great delivery on his right foot. Take him left and right side comfortably. See what Charlestown do with the ball now.
McManus back on this right-hand side. Stuck in a corner there. It uses Jackson Frendo. Back to McManus. He's robbed out by Kent Harrison. Harrison looks to drive into space here. He's only got a few options forward. Verity robs that one. Verity looks for Ferguson. Now
Ferguson
Elkington
probably hasn't had as many touches as he probably would have liked this half thus far.
certainly hasn't had service as of yet. I think you mentioned last week, Buttes, Jimmy Oates being a 90-minute player. I feel like if Reed Ferguson does get that opportunity, we know he's capable of finding the back of the net. It's just about staying in the game. As Regan looks to loft one forward.
Yeah, of course, Scobie. He's a player that you can't sleep on, I think, for any part of the game. You know, he's a handful for any defender. Big body, you know, agile for his size, and he can score a goal as well. So he's definitely a man that can break this game open for Charlestown.
Kieran Hayes now. Uses Hall. They do well there, Charlestown. The ref doesn't give that a foul. Tom O'Connor does well to win out there. Furatani, the Japanese import there for New Lambton. But it's reclaimed now by the visitors. Verity down the left. Cycles through Regan.
You have to say, Scobie, the pitch is in quite good condition tonight. There's been some good football being played as well through the middle of the park. We didn't see as much of that on the weekend with the Jaffas game. A little bit more direct. Both teams are happy to play through the middle. I've been really impressed with Tommy O'Connor this half. He's been a leader in the middle for New Lambton, as well as Ken Harrison up front. You can see his work ethic right now.
Hayes looks out wide here to McManus.
New Lambton just sitting in a deep block. They understand their role individually and as a team right now. They haven't found themselves in this position this year, but they understand the importance of a clean sheet.
McManus now driving into space. The call is no foul from New Lambton. They've done well to win back possession here. Once again, Gora breaks. It's a mistake from Regan. Gora gets onto the end of this one, one-on-one with Velkovsky. It's a great sliding challenge there from Kieran Hayes. His defensive partner, Taylor Regan, just lost out there, Matt.
Yeah, crucial intervention from Hayes there, and could have easily been 3-0. Regan just probably holding onto the ball a little bit too long. Maybe slipped on it. I'm not sure what it was, but either way, they broke away with some speed. And here we go again. Expect a decent delivery from Ken Harrison. Potentially the backspin one onto the keeper as well. That's how we saw them score their second goal.
All their goals, I think so far, have come from set pieces. One from a free kick and one from this position, the corner, as Harrison does take. Lofted into the area. Caleb Reed trying to get on the end of that one, but it's cleared convincingly by Azzurri.
Yeah, Azzurri probably dodging a bullet there, and ultimately found a result out of that. The keeper's looks like he's in a little bit of pain at the moment. Might have caught one on the hand there, a little sting. But I tell you what, New Lambton are looking pretty dangerous on their set pieces, to be honest. Really putting Charlestown under all sorts of pressure.
It's definitely a threat that Charlestown have to keep an eye on. Scorer now. Finds himself out to the right now. Does well, earns himself a throw-in. This is exactly where New Lambton want the ball be. It's especially towards the back end of this half. You'd expect maybe Charlestown ramping up the pressure and trying to get one back before the break. But New Lambton are playing the game in Charlestown's half.
Yeah, of course. Momentum swings a little bit again. Charlestown just enjoyed a little bit of a spell of possession, but New Lambton would love the ball to stay in this half. Just control it, try to see out this first half.
Now, Caleb Reed. It's been chased down here. The break could be on out wide through McManus. He's got options in the box. Decides to take on the strike. I think the keeper, Escalon's done really well there just to hang on the ball. There wasn't any Charlestown player following in. It's a great play down the right here from McManus.
Yeah, great save as well. Forced a great save. Good hands from the young lad. And maybe a little mistake in the middle of the field. We saw it with Regan just earlier as well for Charlestown. A couple of errors creeping in again. Could be fatigue. Could be under the lights. Who knows? But forces a good save. And I think it's going to be a game of moments as well, especially for Charlestown. They want to crawl themselves back into this game.
Certainly right, and I think half-time can't come quicker for the visitors. They're still looking to push. And like you mentioned, Butts, they do have it in them to go and get one back. And momentum's a massive thing in football, as McManus.
Yeah, a massive thing in football, momentum, of course. And as I said earlier, I don't think many people would have thought it would have been 2-0 to New Lambton at home tonight. But I tell you what, if you look at the pitch, all of the dark blue players at the moment are working so hard. They understand the importance of this. The boys up front are working hard and getting behind the ball. Everyone's doing their job at the moment.
Is that ball intended for McManus? Cleared partially and into the path of Harrison. He lofts it long. It's that battle again between Taylor Reed and Gora. I think Gora's still on the ground here after that collision. Play will resume though. Caleb Reed with a challenging tackle. You can hear the reaction from the New Lambton fans. They'll look to break here. That one does go out for a New Lambton throw, but Gora back to his feet. That's been a good battle so far, Butts, Regan and Gora.
Yeah, good battle. He's a little bit shaken up at the moment. He's still sore from that one. Tell you what, you don't want to copy hit from Taylor Regan, that's for sure. But yeah, it's been a healthy battle thus far. Got the experience of Regan and then the young blood from Gora, who has proved to be a handful already this first half.
Furatani now. Recycles through Taylor Regan. He's just looking for space in the middle of the park. Finds Elkington. McManus now to Hull. Frendo looks for that ball for Ferguson, but Piddington's done well to win his individual battle there. And Tom O'Connor looking for that early ball. Just a bit rushed there from New Lambton. It's Charlestown now. McManus down the right. Does well. He's got numbers in the box. Another teasing cross. Oh, and I thought for a second there, that one did find the back of the net.
Wow. Great positive play from McManus, just beating his man down the sideline here, and another wicked ball. He's done a couple of those already this first half, and I tell you what, Scobie, that looked like it was 2-1 for all money.
From up here, it certainly did.
I thought that was going to rattle the back of the net. That was a quality chance, and I tell you what, Charlestown would have loved that as well.
Would have been a massive confidence booster heading towards the break. Gora now battling out. Just under 10 minutes until half-time here. And it's the hosts who lead 2-0, thanks to a double from Caleb Reid. One of the more unlikely goal scorers, Buttes, the centre-back, but you're always going to be happy when you can bag too.
Yeah, of course. He definitely doesn't play up front, but he's obviously a threat on the set pieces. Both of them coming from set pieces tonight, and yeah, he'd be stoked at the moment. What a first half for him. For New Lambton as a whole, we haven't seen this type of football from them in a long time. In fact, we haven't seen much of it this season, Scobie, so they are sitting pretty at the moment. Would love to see out this first half at 2-0 as well. Let's see how Charlestown can play out this attack with Matt Hull.
Hull finds Frendo in the middle of the park. He uses McManus. He puts another wicked delivery in. He's just waiting for a Charlestown player to get their head on it. Certainly positive from McManus, just no bodies in the box. And you can tell by Josh Pennington's reaction, he's not happy with potentially some of his midfielders there.
Yeah, I tell you what, if I was McManus as well, I wouldn't be too happy with the boys up front. He's put in a couple of deliveries tonight now, 3 or 4, which have been on the money. You can't ask any more than what he's already doing if you're a coach and that's your winger. Putting it right on the spot.
It's Caleb Reid now. Looks long. The urge from the New Lambton defence is to get up. Now tussle in the middle of the park. It's Verity who wins out. Now Frendo looking to play central. No foul given from the referee. And Matt Hull now, or rather McManus, will look to again get up against the left fullback. Just resets through Hull. Charlestown desperately looking for that equaliser. Ball outright here to McManus. Looks onside as it stands. Matt Hull making that supportive run, but McManus tries to deliver to the front stick, and Buttes, we spoke about some of his positive crosses. That certainly wasn't one of them.
Yeah, probably not his best one, of course, but I tell you what, they're doing all the right things. If Regan's trying to find that man McManus on the ball, I would be too, because he's been on fire this half, and he looks most likely for Charlestown to find the answer to New Lambton's defence, which has been quite solid this half, to be honest, bar 1 or 2 chances.
Harrison does well to flick that one on, but only into the path of Regan. Frendo now searching for options. I think he wanted McManus to go along there. Search over the top. Verity now drifting into the centre of the park. Again, this patient build-up, trying to get the likes of Frendo, Matt Hull, even Verity onto the ball. They'll try and combine here. Pennington clears only as far as McManus. His pass, not what he intended. Gora just couldn't get his foot onto that one, and Charlestown will come again.
Yeah, again, a wave of possession for Charlestown. It'll pick up from O'Connor in the middle. They could break away here. Loose ball, but the momentum's definitely been Charlestown again. It's been swaying all half, but Charlestown have definitely had probably the favourite of possession as the ball just runs too far from Frendo out to Verity. You can see a little bit of frustration creeping in for Charlestown, the visitors tonight. things just aren't sticking for them at the moment. New Lambton need to stay in the fight at the moment as we approach that half-time mark. You know, I'm sure Pitto and some of the senior boys in the New Lambton team right now are stressing the importance of this last 5 minutes.
They certainly will, but they've got to see out. That's a great challenge there. Now a foul. And like you said, Butts, you talked about them staying out these last 5 minutes. They're doing everything correct. They've won themselves free kick, and you'd think they just pumped this one long. Look to see out the remaining part of this half.
Well, yeah, you see so many goals in the last 5 minutes of halves and the second half of a game. And, you know, you got that man Pitto on the ball now. He'd just be stressing how important it is to stay composed, stay relaxed, and see this half out. It's good to see, you know, plenty of reserve great boys from New Lambton and locals coming down to watch this game again tonight.
Certainly is. They've really been a difference maker, Butts, for their side tonight. Everyone's out in support of the hosts, and they do lead 2-0 as O'Connor now. Kent Harrison now on the ball. He looks to cut in on his preferred right foot. Uses O'Connor. That's a great touch. Final pass, though. Just finds Matt Hoole. And now Azzurri can break. Certainly wasn't the intended pass there by Tyrone Cousins. And Escalon claimed that one in his hands. Just look to shift his team up here. See out the remaining few minutes, plus whatever he's added on. Like mentioned earlier, Butts, it's a very busy schedule for New Lambton in the month of July. They host Jaffers and Adamstown in some catch-up matches here at Alder Park, and you feel like if they get a win tonight, they could be building some confidence as home. Piddington clears there, but certainly a busy month for New Lambton, especially in their fight against relegation.
Yeah, of course. And, you know, tonight's going to go a long way, you know, trying to venture out of that relegation battle. They've unfortunately dug a pretty deep grave thus far, sitting only on 3 points. And as I mentioned earlier, Adamstown, who are the other team in the relegation battle, are on 10 points. But things can change quickly, and as we said, momentum's a funny thing in football. If they pull a performance like this next week against the Jaffers, and, you know, through the month of July, they're doing all the right things to try and get themselves out of that relegation battle. I think there's enough quality in the pitch to, you know, crawl themselves out of it. I've seen it tonight. I've seen it in patches this season as well, but just not consistently.
Seen this scenario so much throughout the first half. It just matters here. He does well to win it back, but New Lambton again. Harrison was the intention. The pass just didn't find him. And now Azzurri will get a free kick. Probably, you could say, shooting position here, Matt.
Yeah, you'd think so, considering the position, but also the time as well. We're approaching that half-time mark. Credit where it's due, number 12, Harry Weir, I believe. He's had a tough half against, you know, a really solid McManus, but he's stuck to his guns. In the last couple of battles, he's actually come out on top, so he'll grow in confidence as well as the game continues on. We'll see who lines up to set this shot up for Charlestown. You'd have to say it's shooting range though, Scobie.
Certainly will. It looks like it will be that set-piece specialist who's done most of the corners and it's the free kicks throughout the night. Matthew Hull standing over this one alongside McManus. It's always interesting when two players stand over it and you don't know who exactly will hit this.
I think half the time the players don't know either. I think they both want to take it.
Does look like Hull will take. It's Matt Hull with a strike. It's on target. Just into the hands there of Escalon. That is half-time here at Alder Park. It's a massive surprise, Butts, especially the way New Lambton come out. They do lead 2-0 in this one at half-time. We'll catch you on the other side of this. But before we go, just a reminder that if you want to see every goal, every save and every moment from the NPL, look no further than YouTube, your go-to for every game across the season in both the men's and women's competitions. It's the hosts who lead 2-0 at the break, and we'll catch you on the other side of half-time.
His name is Dre Okoch. Dre Okoch.
Number 7. Are you still looking for number 7? Nice. Drea Koch, thank you.
Oh yeah, that's the feeling. Progress. Momentum. Getting somewhere. That's what it feels like when you bank with Newcastle Permanent. With local experts and award-winning customer service. We're here for you, and we're here for good. That's the feeling. Progress. Momentum. Getting somewhere. That's what it feels like when you bank with Newcastle Permanent. With local experts and award-winning customer service. We're here for you, and we're here for good.
Welcome back to New Lambton versus Charlestown Azzurri Buttes. A very dominant first half from the home side, but they're up against it in the second 45. Are you expecting Charlestown to sort of come out and be the dominant team, or do you think New Lambton will sort of not sit on the back foot? What are you thinking?
Yeah, it was an exciting first half, and as you mentioned, 2-0 to the home side at Outer Park, and wow, they come out strong. The first 15 minutes was New Lambton. They had more energy, more excitement, more enthusiasm, and it resulted in 2 goals from Caleb Reid, the centre-back. An unlikely goal scorer of all, but he's got 2 tonight. And they find themselves, New Lambton, in a position they haven't really been in all year. You know, looking down the barrel of their first 3 points, and a clean sheet as well at the moment, Charlestown need to come out early in this first 10 minutes and try and crawl themselves back into this game quickly, because they do have goals in them. We know that. We know Charlestown's threat. But yeah, super important that they start this first half well, but I would imagine that New Lambton also know the importance of the start of this second half, so expect the same energy.
Certainly do, and I'm sure the chat from Shane Price at halftime, the New Lambton coach, would just be keeping the things the way they have been. Charlestown actually were the first team out of the sheds in the second half. We see now Reen Ferguson to break. He looks inside. This is exactly where Charlestown want the ball played down this end. Now Kent Harrison.
Important block there at the back. Cousins was just letting loose there on the shot. He's on the ball again now. He's got a rocket of a boot on him.
There's immediately some energy about Azzurri. Matt Hull finds it out wide to Lundy. Lundy is down the byline. Cuts it back to Verity. Verity in a duel, but finds Lundy, and he delivers over to McManus, who was a big threat in that first 45. See Kieran Hayes here, utilising Verity, who loves to get forward, playing more of a full-back role tonight. Interesting to see what James Pascoe had to say, the Azzurri boss, at half-time. They need to bring some sort of energy into this second 45, Butts.
Yeah, of course, there was no doubt that Pascoe wouldn't have been happy with the first half performance. I think there was a couple of positives, but to be down 2-0 against bottom of the table New Lambton, he definitely wouldn't have been expected it himself as well. He would have had this game bookmarked for 3 points, so I know him, I know his character. He would be edging the Charlestown boys on for a strong second half performance, as well as that man Taylor Regan. He would have had a word to say as well, making sure these boys are up for this second half. They want any chance of coming back in this game.
Well, last Saturday was a frustrating result for Azzurri, only managing to grab a point at Arthur and Noble. They've got it all to do here in the second half. It's Tom O'Connor now. He drives into space. Goes out wide here. Just reset through Christopherson. Charlestown just surrounding numbers around the ball, just needing to pinch it back. Christopherson now uses his experienced centre-back in Piddington. Furatani does really well there. Tries to find Gora. Probably could have took more space there, the Japanese international. Just tried to look for that early ball. For those wanting to keep in action on the catch-up games, Lambton Jaffers and Broadmeadow Magic is now live on our Northern New South Wales Football's YouTube channel. Head over to that one. Sure to be a promising one. But right here, we've got the host, New Lambton, leading Charlestown 2-0 with goals to Caleb Reid in the first half, a double from the centre-back. There's now Elkington. Furatani does well again. Looks for Gora, but it's well intercepted there by Kieran Hayes. He looks out wide to Lundy. Ferguson, it just hasn't been his night as of yet. That touch, not what he would have hoped for.
Yeah, minimal touches for the number 9 tonight, unfortunately. Hasn't probably got the service that he would have liked. Not as he received on Saturday as well. It's been quiet thus far, but we'll be hoping for a little bit more action this half. So they go down this left side as well with Verity, who touched the ball a plenty in the first half as well. McManus has gone back to the right side. He was a threat, as you mentioned. Probably Charlestown's biggest threat. Plenty of wicked deliveries. He's on the ball now.
We see both of their fullbacks, Butts, both Hull and Verity, love to get forward as we see Matt Hoole on the ball now. Uses Frendo. Lundy now trying to get a 1-2 off with Ferguson. It's back to Frendo, who plays a really clever ball out wide now. McManus, his delivery is teasing. And Ferguson with the header. It's a great save there from Escalon, just to keep his side in the game. But once again, that delivery from McManus, as he's weaved through defenders here, still going, and he's done well to earn himself a corner. Charlestown just ramping up the pressure here, Butts.
Yeah, really golden opportunity there. Great save from point-blank range. Ferguson had no idea how that didn't rattle the back of the net, get his side back into 2-1. Let's see the delivery from Matt Hoole. It's been good all night. Has to be good again.
It's into a teasy area, but once again, just evades any signs of a possible Charlestown threat there.
Yeah, another wicked ball as well, like you mentioned, McManus. He started the second half, the way he finished it, that right boot tonight. I don't know what he did to it, but he's putting some wicked crosses in at the moment and survived a bit of a bullet there, New Lambton.
Kieran Hayes does well to win that one. Ferguson challenging with Christopherson. It's a bit of a scrap in the middle of the park. Elkington finds Lundy. Resets through Verity. It's a great chip out wide to find Matt Hoole. He's in a bit of space down the right here. He looks for that early ball. It'll fall. Lundy at the back stick. He nearly beats Pennington, but he earns his side a corner. Just being patient at the back, Charlestown, waiting for that eventual long ball over the top, whether it is McManus or Lundy. And Matt Hoole will go over to take yet another set piece for the visitors.
Yeah, strong start in the second half from Charlestown. Another set piece. Matt Hoole will take it again, hoping for a better delivery this time. I'm sure he puts it in the mixer where a couple of those tall boys are. Cousins, Regan, Ferguson.
Ball to the front stick there, cleared by Caleb Reid. Frendo now looks up the line for Cousins. Just too much power on that pass. Lambton can sort of settle down here. They've been under pressure to start this first patches of the second half.
Yeah, we knew the pressure was going to come. They just got to weather the storm, Scobie, and they've done that thus far. They've survived a couple of near scares at the moment, but they're holding strong. Just got to crawl themselves back into this game. It's all Charlestown in the second half so far. McManus just teasing down the right side. Cousins on the ball.
Very silky player. McManus always looking to get onto his right foot. As we see here, it looks like Gora goes down with an injury.
Just on the other game tonight, Scobie, as we're on a break, we have the Lambton Jaffers hosting Broadmeadow Magic, and it was a bit of a blowout last time those two teams saw each other. I was a part of that one, unfortunately. 5-0 at Magic Park, but how do you see that game unfolding? Pretty important for both clubs. You know, Broadmeadow Magic obviously chasing B-League football, and no doubt Kresner, the boss, has got that at the top of the list for the goals for the club this season. It's between them and Edgeworth at the moment, but Jaffers have dealt with a different season as last year. We struggled to score as many goals. It's very important that they get the ball moving as well and try and get 3 points.
Certainly is, especially at home. Crucial night for the Jaffers, especially for Magic. They look to keep in touch with Edgeworth. Just let this play unfold. It's pinball in the area. Elkington fires one back in. The bicycle from Ferguson, I think it was. Still hasn't cleared it. It was, looks like offside. Maybe a goal kick unfolding from that.
Bit ambitious from the number 9 there, but worth a try. Would have been some goal if he got some promising contact on that. New Lambton will just reset now. Probably look to go long as they do. Not going to take any chances playing out at the moment as the wind picks up at Outer Park just a little bit.
So you see now down the right, McManus doesn't agree with that decision, but it's a New Lambton throw-in. O'Connor now on the ball. Looks for McClymont. That ball, Verity hesitated. He's done well there with his weaker foot to clear that one into the path of Christopherson, who heads that one forward to O'Connor. He slips. Now Charlestown just look to settle the ball down through Verity.
Now what you'll see, Scobie, or what I think you'll see as this game progresses, is Charlestown 2-0 down. They're going to start sending the fullbacks, both Verity and Matt Hall, a little bit further higher. Try and play a little bit more attacking football as they're chasing the game, which also leaves the opportunity for New Lambton to exploit the width. So it could be a game of transition for New Lambton if they want to continue to press forward. I think they're going to play this half out a little bit more conservative because Charlestown are chasing the game. See how it plays out.
It's definitely a risk when you commit numbers forward. As we can see, New Lambton here. It's just interesting to see if this game does stay at 2-0, how many bodies Charlestown push forward. But that's a lovely 1-2 down the left. Taylor Regan comes across. Shouts over whether that was a foul.
Nothing doing, says the referee. It's a goal kick. But yeah, positive play down the left side from the young fullback, Harry Weir. He's had not massive involvements tonight, but he's been impressive when he does have the ball at his feet. Taylor Regan's done enough there, and the ball's through Verity down the left side. You try to progress forward, and it's that man Pitto as well. I think we're talking on the weekend, Chris. I'm not sure he's approaching his 400th NPL game very soon. I don't think it's tonight. I'd hate for it to be tonight, and I'm not sure if it is. But I think he's approaching it, and like, longevity in any sport's impressive. It's an incredible career.
Certainly is, especially the amount of titles he's won as well. He's been a true legend, especially not only for the clubs that he's played for, but the NPL overall.
Yeah, legend player, legend bloke. Stands over the ball now.
Tries to pump that one forward, but Verity does well. Lundy now trying to tussle out. That should be a New Lambton throw, and it is. Spoke Butts about the two fullbacks going forward. When do you think we'll see them progressively go higher? Is it in the next 5, next 10?
Well, yeah, I know both players individually, and I know they both like to get forward. They're both positive players. They like the ball at their feet. Probably not full of youth, but they definitely like to get themselves in the front third whenever possible. And I think that would have been the instructions from Pasco as well, the boss for Charlestown at half-time. Just progressively overload the width. Try and get players in support out to those wingers. McManus, he was such a threat in the first half. But yeah, look, I think you'll see it as the game starts to settle. It hasn't really settled the last 5 minutes or so as you see the ball just up in the air. But I think you'll see it very soon, Scobie.
Certainly will. Tom O'Connor now drifting into space through the midfield. Dore now looks to let fly. Decides to go to O'Connor. He lets fly. Saved on the initial attempt, and the rebound just goes over the top as we see a Charlestown substitution about to take place. Will be Jackson Frendo leaving the field. See who he comes on for. More of a midfield sort of replacement. Tyrone Cousins pushing out onto this left-hand side here.
Yeah, Cousins out to the left, and we saw it on the weekend as well. Jared Sutherland in the number 10 jerseys come on, and we'll see in that attacking midfielder role.
Talking about the man himself. Almost got through there, but it's great play from Christopherson. They tried to send an early break there, just didn't work out. As now that ball is intended for Decore. He cuts it back. Still getting at Hayes. Hayes just couldn't block that cross, and that was a teasing cross there. Cousins now on the ball. It's a great ball inside. Now they switch the flanks to Hull. He's got space in front of him. Matt Hull drives, looking for Lundy up top, but once again that final pass is letting Azzurri down. That's an example there, Butts, of how they can utilise Matt Hull going forward there.
Yeah, of course, and expect to see a little bit more from that as well. Smart breakaway down the right side, and like you said, just the final pass missing at the moment for Azzurri. First touch for Jared Sutherland as well. He could be the man for Charlestown to, rely on and potentially crack open this new Lambton defence.
Certainly could be. As we mentioned, Cousins out to the left. It looks like Lundy will go to a more central 9 position, maybe 2 up top alongside Ferguson. We'll see how that plays out. Elkington now with Regan. He plays a lovely ball into Lundy. Sutherland uses Cousins. Cousins' ball cleared by Brandis. Now Verity, he finds himself in a bit of space. Verity weaving his way through, nearly finding Ferguson there in the box. It was Johnny on the spot. Charlestown looking promising as they go forward.
Yeah, slick little move there from Verity. He wasn't far off. Jared Sutherland in some good space through the middle here. Charlestown have just got a good spell of possession now, a lot of pressure. The ball's with Matt Hull down the right side.
Tried to look for Ferguson, but like you mentioned, Butts, this pressure is a bit relentless from Charlestown. So we see here Taylor Egan looking to weigh up his options. He'll opt for that early long ball for Ferguson up against his opposite number in Reed. But Escalent comes out and claims. Feel like maybe this youth in New Lambton could get them over the line tonight. They're a very young side up against what is quite an experienced Charlestown side, you could say. They just rely on those young players to get them through for the remaining part of this game. But now they can break. Down the left into Brandis. Little dink over the top, just couldn't find its mark.
As it stands right now, Scobie, New Lambton with their first clean sheet of the season. Conceded a massive amount of goals. It hasn't been their strong point this season at all. They're sitting very nice at the moment. Charlestown haven't scored, or haven't not scored a goal, sorry, in a game for over 2 months.
Here goes Harrison now. He beats Taylor Egan. In on goal, Harrison probably should have let fly earlier, but he does win his team a corner. But again, another mistake. Kent Harrison is quite disappointed that his side don't get a corner there, although the 4th official does give the ref instruction it will be a New Lambton corner.
Yeah, probably just held onto the ball a little bit too long there, Scobie. Probably would have wanted that moment back again. Fast breakaway, that's what New Lambton have to offer. Ken Harrison, we know his left foot's good as well. Surprised he didn't pull the trigger a little bit earlier. He probably didn't hear Matt Hull sniffing behind him, but it was a crucial intervention nonetheless. And the set pieces have proved difficult for Charlestown to defend this game. We'll see how this pans out.
The young keeper does well there, Velosky. He looks to start a quick break. He doesn't have many options forward, but he used Verity. Verity plays that great ball forward to Ferguson. They've got numbers here, Charlestown. Ferguson, the switch out to McManus. McManus now beats his opponent. McManus cuts it back. It's into the hands of Escalent, but we can see how fast Azzurri broke there. Just didn't have that final product to turn it goal bound, and Reece McManus still getting to his feet here. He's down in back play. So he kind of does really well there. Christopherson out wide now. New Lambton, a dig to the back stick, the header. Nearly a third for the home side there. Great build-up play down the right. That header nearly goal-bound, Matt.
Yeah, golden opportunity. Great play from New Lambton. Still have McManus down in back play. I think it's cramping. But yeah, awesome down the right side here. Good delivery. And the number 7 for New Lambton, he's been tidy the moments he's had this game. Really good delivery into the box. And I'm not sure who was on the end of that one, Scobie, but it wasn't far off. Probably just a metre out of that left post. Could have easily been 3-0. Probably one of the best chances of the game.
It's great delivery. We've seen both sides really have good deliveries from wide areas. Just struggling to get that final product. That would have been huge for the home side if they were to add a third there. But as it stands, New Lambton still hold on to a 2-0 lead. It's Lundy battling in the air. Piddington now plays a lovely ball out wide. The pace of Azzurri does well to get a foot in there. Just on to the visitors tonight, Charlestown Azzurri. Still 2 catch-up games for them to play. At home to Edgeworth on July the 9th. And away to Western on the 30th of July. So tricky schedule for Charlestown, especially in their pursuit to try and keep in touch with that top 4. We know Edgeworth and Western are both difficult sides. I think July is the month that's really crucial for each and every team in this competition.
Yeah, you're right about that, Scobie. Really important month of football again for teams coming in. Injuries. We're approaching the end of the season. And form's massively important. Charlestown, like you said, they've got a tough schedule. 2 games against 2 sides that are doing really well this season. Edgeworth only conceding 4 goals. We spoke about that at half-time. Their defence has been so tight-knit this year. One of the really good performers of the year. Exciting football as well. And Western, we know how many goals they've got in them as well. Q Allen, the head coach there, has done a brilliant job this season with the squad, bringing in a number of new players. It's a mountain to climb for Charlestown. It's probably not going to give them all the confidence in the world if they don't win this one tonight.
Just touching on the Western Workers, they obviously progressed through to the round of 32 Australia Cup. That draw will take place on a Wednesday night. Huge for Cook Seal and Western to be in the mix. As Verity now through the legs of O'Connor. Drives into the area looking for options. They cut it back now. Lundy just trying to get that on his right foot. He's dispossessed. Now Taylor Regan. Probably the intent there from Regan. And New Lambton earned themselves a free kick.
Yeah, good clean-up play from Brandis there through the middle. A couple of interventions. He's won his side a free kick as well. Just trying to put an ease to that Charlestown spark at the moment. They definitely have come out the stronger in the second half, Charlestown, but the game's starting to mellow out a little bit, and New Lambton are starting to get a sniff. We saw a good opportunity about 5 minutes ago. Approaching the 70th minute mark now, or thereabouts, and New Lambton are doing all the right things at the moment, Scobie.
I think just touching back to your point earlier, Matt, I mean, Charlestown are happy to commit numbers forward, but they've got to be really wary of the threat New Lambton can pose, as O'Connor had options outright here. Just decided to try and thread that one through and finds Velovsky. It's frustrating there for Charlestown. Just try to knock that one long. It's been a game where they need to really get their foot on the ball, sort of hold possession and have some build-up play, because they have showed promising signs in this second half. They just need that goal. They certainly need it fast. It's well done there by Brandis. Even better there from Matt Hoult to intercept. Hoult now looks for the switch. It's the right intention, but cut out well. Christopherson finding himself in trouble. Nearly robbed there by Cousins. Caleb Reed now at the double. They've done well there, New Lambton, to play out. Now the Japanese import for Atani, but robbed by Taylor Regan. He's showing his experience there. And Charlestown, they commit numbers forward here. As that wind starts to pick up here at Order Park. It's Cousins out on the left. He's Dink. He had numbers in the box there. New Lambton just doing what they've done for the majority of this one, which is seeing out the attacks. It's Cousins. Gives a big shove. Things are starting to boil over here. As you can see, Jackson McClymont, he gets a yellow card. The initial tackle from Cousins wasn't great, but it looks like McClymont will pick up the yellow card.
Yeah, it was just a simple big man on little man there, and Cousins with a smile after he sees his opposing man get the second yellow card of the game, I believe. But again, they've got a set piece in a decent position. You know they're going to put this in the mixer. Pretty important they get a result out of this now if they want to try and crawl themselves back into this game.
Certainly is. It'll be Hull to take. Lofts that one towards the back stick. Question marks over who will win this shy. It will be New Lambton. They want to get on the front foot straight away. It's McClymont now. Out on that left-hand side now. He's been everywhere. You see, just dispossessed there in the middle of the park. You can see the frustration. That final pass isn't working for the visitors. As O'Connor now feeds one out.
The reaction of the Charlestown players at the moment. Heads down. A little bit frustrated. It's a strong tackle from Regan there, but it's just, like I said, heads down. A bit of frustration from the boys up front. The ticker's starting to fade away at the moment. And I completely understand. It's a cold Tuesday night at Alder Park and you're down 2-0 to the bottom of the table. You've got to be frustrated, but that's not the answer to get back into this game.
Certainly still do have time to get back into this one. They do need a goal quick, fast, do the visitors. Just wonder whether they do look to their bench. They've already brought on Sutherland. Wonder if Pascoe's happy with the 11 he's got out there as it stands. Spoke about the movement off the ball in the first half, Matt, from New Lambton. Every player knows their role when they don't have the ball, but this clean sheet for them, if they are to hold on, would be absolutely massive.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And you can see how they're set up now, you know. Starting to sit a little bit deeper and, you know, knowing their roles defensively as well as on the ball. They know that they don't need to win this game 4 or 5-0. They just need to get a result.
As that will fall, Lundy with the strike.
But yeah, just going back to that point, Scobes, they've been brilliant all game. Really structured, really disciplined. It's going a long way to seeing out this game at the moment. They've got to continue it for 15 minutes or so. They'll be on their way to their first 3 points of the season.
Massive. Would be huge for Shane Price's side. They've done everything well so far. They're just keeping themselves in this contest. Taylor Regan wins that header, which falls to Cousins.
You'd expect to set this one up as well again through Matt Hall potentially. Try and get it in the area. Jared Sutherland, it looks like, on the ball. Set piece. I was going to mention, Scobie, if the game remains 2-0, you have to say, outside of Broadmeadow, Western, and see how this one plays out, and I'll return.
Sutherland delivers. Cleared by Caleb Reed.
You'd have to say the top 3 on the ladder at the moment are cruising and playing some great football, but anyone can beat anyone in this competition. It's proof of it tonight at the moment if it stays as is. It's going to be really important as we run into the finals.
Certainly will be. That's a better cross from Hull. It's spilled by Escalon. Back out to Matt Hull. Is he onside? He is for now. That delivery finds Verity, gets his head to it. But New Lambton, you can hear the reaction from the fans, just clearing everything that Charlestown has to throw at them. Hall down the right now. McManus playing more of a central role. He loses out. And a few shouts of chip him there. With Velosky way out of his box. You can see New Lambton Buttes. I'm sure it's fair to say they're feeding off this home crowd energy.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, you can hear him being vocal now, Scobie, just to the left of us. But yeah, they've gone a long way tonight to help the home side, and credit to them as well. Tuesday night out in the cold. It'd be quite easy to be sitting in your room or wherever you are watching this live on YouTube. They've been very vocal and very positive for their home side. They know how important this result could be.
Most certainly, it's a massive step for the Eagles. The Golden Eagles, I should say. It's Cousins now on the left. They need to spark something, Charlestown. They need it soon. Riding every emotion are these New Lambton fans. They know their side. 15 or so minutes away from securing their first victory of the season. Velosky playing way out of his box there. Goes back to the young keeper now. This pressure from New Lambton as they look to trap Charlestown up the end. Verity's touch is a bit too big. O'Connor and Verity in back play. Play on for now. Christopherson down the right. Up against Elkington and decides to reset through Piddington, who just knocks that one long. Gives chance for everyone to take a breath, Buttes.
Yeah, Pito just wants to have a rest himself by the look of it, trying to send it out to the car park. But yeah, positive reward there for New Lambton's pressure up front. Probably not the final result they wanted, but again, I think they're more than comfortable to play out this game as is. Whether that's in search for a third or not, doesn't matter. I tell you what, the home side's very, very vocal, but minimal chat from the Charlestown bench or side. Still quiet for light blue Azzurri.
Certainly does look quiet if you look towards that Azzurri bench. Time is running out for the visitors. There's just over 10 minutes to go in this one. It's the hosts, if you're just joining us, who lead 2-0 in this one thanks to a double in the first half from Caleb Reid. And I guess you could say quick succession as well. Charlestown looking for a way back into this one. They'll win themselves a throw here, the home side. You can hear that reaction. They're inching closer. So that'll be a yellow card there for McManus for a bit of a chat. Maybe complaining about time wasting. Certainly must be frustrating from a Charlestown perspective. Matty Hall now. Delivers Ferguson. It's aimed for him. It'll fall to Verity. And now Kent Harrison up against Taylor Regan. Regan wins out well, but this chase is still on. It's all happening in that corner, but New Lambton earned themselves a throw. I think that was intended for McClymon. Just too much on that.
Yeah,
So
bit of energy coming back into this game now, Scobie. I tell you what, we're in prime position at the moment. We've got the home fans to our left. Reserve grade on the back fence as well. As you said, we're approaching that final 10 minutes plus additional time. Charlestown look to go to the bench now. Just confirm that substitution. It looks like Cousins is coming off. His night is over. Number 45, we'll confirm who that is now coming on for Charlestown, but looking for answers, and they need them quick.
Hunter Ryan looks like he'll take his spot onto the field. Esquin's coming out far there. Charlestown, if they only get something out of this game, Buttes, they really need to get one quickly.
Right about that.
Lundy now. Cousins to Hull. Hayes finds the middle of the park and they dispossess again. And now New Lambton can break. There's numbers out on the right here. I don't think O'Connor's spotted the pass. There was an option out right, but I think that's just signs of what New Lambton can do. Charlestown showing heaps of pressure, but just got to be wary of that break.
It's Hunter with his first touches of the game. He's trying to take his man on down the left flank. Verity looking to deliver.
It's deep to Cousins. He gets one back for the visitors. There's not much celebration within the Azzurri camp because they know they need to get that second. It's a great ball from Nathan Verity. We've seen him get forward for the majority of this one. The Azzurri have one back with just over 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, wicked ball and good finish there. My apologies earlier. I thought Cousins went off the field, but he just went to the right side. And it's a great header, 2-1. Charlestown needed that for sure, and it'll be interesting finish to the game now. Like you said, the celebrations were muted because Charlestown know that they need another one at least to get any sort of result out of this game.
Well, here they go again through Lundy. Certainly a confidence booster for the away side. The 1-2 is on here. Hunter Ryan up against Christopherson, and he's done well. The New Lambton right back to win his side a free kick. It's all happened really quickly, that goal.
Yeah, it is Scobie, and I mentioned earlier the fullbacks were going to bomb up, and Verity's getting up into the front third and putting in a peach of a ball as well to find Cousins' head. And look, New Lambton just need to stay in this fight, rely on their experience that they do have on the field, as well as their home fans out here tonight to get them over the line.
Caleb Reid. This is that header, a bit of a scrap in the middle of the park. Now Kieran finds Ryan out on this left-hand side. It's been a good battle so far. Once again, you can see that reaction from the New Lambton faithful. Charlestown Azzurri head to their bench now. It looks like Taylor Regan might bomb forward for the remaining part of this game. Just try and get his head on it, but in the meantime it is Renee Ferguson who leaves the field. He's been limited with his touches tonight. We'll find out who is replacing him, but it looks like he'll slide into more of a centre-back role and push Regan on forward. Cousins with a free header. Oh, the attempt there. Still in the box. It's off the post. Regan. And it's eventually cleared for a corner.
Wow, Scobie. Crossbar, then the sidebar. Charlestown are knocking on the door. They couldn't have got any closer than they just did. Taylor Regan in the mix of it as well. Really got a goal on his first touch at number 9. Matty Hall, he's going to put another ball into the box. Charlestown knocking on the door.
It's a dangerous run. It finds Regan. His header. It's pinball in the area. From up here, we cannot see what is going down, but it looks like it will be another corner to Charlestown. That delivery from Matt Hall into a very dangerous position.
Right on the money. Found Regan's head as well, and like you just said, Scope, an absolute scramble in the box. New Lambton are on the ropes at the moment. Need to get out of this position.
They need to clear it up the other end. It's Hull with the delivery. Regan at the back stick. Forced to Sutherland. This is better. Ken Harrison now trying to lift his team. Sends out one long, and that's a relief for New Lambton.
Yeah, massive relief, Scobie. Smart ball up the line from Ken Harrison. They just need to reset the home side. Massive scare. They're edging close to that 90 minutes.
It's also a position New Lambton haven't been in this season. They haven't been in a position where they've got to hold on to the lead, but if they were to hold on to 3 points tonight, we know how crucial that'll be. But the game's not over yet. It's Charlestown.
Massively, Scobie. If we wind the clock back 2-3 months ago, we had a game here against Valentine. They actually were up in a comfortable position, looking like they were going to take all 3 points, and Valentine come home late. They won a penalty in the dying minutes as well. I think they won that game 3-2. Took it out of the grasp of New Lambton. I'd hate to see that again for the home side. They got to stick strong.
Verity's ball finds Regan. I think Regan knows that was a huge chance to equalise, but again, that delivery from Verity to such a dangerous area. Taylor Egan, who's had a few touches at number 9, just nearly got his head on the end of that one.
I think he's surprised that he's had so many chances in such little time, Regan. I'm sure he probably wants to make a move to number 9 as well. After what he's seen over the last couple of months, he's got to score a couple more goals up front, but I think he'd want to have that moment back. It was a wicked ball from Verity, as he said. It's probably unfortunate not to get a better result out of it.
This is definitely better from the visitors as they look to ramp up and try and find that equaliser.
Charlestown are just trying to tighten the screws at the moment, but again, they've got to try and send more boys forward, which will leave them vulnerable at the back. So expect New Lambton to just play off the break.
Probably
We have seen this game a little bit.
Could probably expect them to do a bit more of this too, a bit of a subs to try and waste time.
Do anything at this point to try and get the points. So number 7's come off.
Looks like Jagger Walhurt will enter the frame. Down on this right-hand flank. Play more defensively to try and see out this result. That's a great way to have your first touch in front of the home faithful. Verity will look to send this one long as we enter the dying stages of this one. Don't go anywhere. This game is on its edge. Verity goes long into the box. It's cleared. Sutherland. He lets fly. Sutherland again weaving his way through. Ryan. And it's cleared by none other than Josh Piddington.
And home fans like that one, Scobie. massive intervention there from their captain and their leader, Piddo. That's just going to dull down the Charlestown attack at the moment. Give New Lambton some fresh air. They've been under the pump.
Just wait and see as we edge closer to full time what the fourth official will indicate as to how many minutes are added on. But in the meantime, Cousins lifts one forward out to Hull. Sends one inside. Caleb Reed, who's been the game changer as it stands. He's double, has New Lambton in the lead. Cousins down the right. Ball in, finds Regan. Onto Ryan. He doesn't give up on the chase. Verity's just happy to send this one long into the box. Verity now lifts this one in. And it will be a Charlestown corner. I think Velkovsky's maybe thinking about it. But it looks like he'll just sit on the halfway line, not commit another number forward. But this is a huge chance for the visitors. Will be Matt Hull to take. They go short. It is Regan Lundy who lets fly, shouts for a handball, and finally cleared by Christopherson.
Expect that long throw in again from Verity. And that was the first short corner we've seen all night from Charlestown, just trying to mix it up at the death. I thought Matty Hull's deliveries have been great. It's an opportunity now.
Speaking of, probably didn't need to get that touch there. I think he knows it there, Christopherson, but it is out for yet another Charlestown corner. Edge of your seats sort of stuff here at Order Park. New Lambton looking for their first win of the season. They've got to see out this corner though. It's Matt Hull to take. He lifts one in deep. Pinball in the area, Cousins. Sutherland now sends that one back out to Hull. Who lifts that one in. It's a tall timber of Regan that gets onto it. Elkington makes a mistake, and Furatani can break here. There's options aplenty. Kent Harrison now. Jagger Walhurt's made the run forward, and that final pass just wasn't what they would have liked. But they'll get the ball back here through O'Connor. They'll look to camp the ball down this end of the half in the 4 minutes that remains in this one, as per indicated. Huge chance on the break there for the Lambton Buttes.
Yeah, massive chance. And, looks like a foul deep in the corner against the home side. unfortunately. But yeah, massive chance there. It was just a final pass lacking from Ken Harrison. And it looks like they're just going to sit in the block again. They've got to hold out for 4 minutes. As you said, the fourth official has told us is remaining in this game. But the home side are screaming for all of their players to get back for New Lambton.
You can slightly tell by, well, that's a great dummy by both Regan and Sutherland. Sutherland finds himself on the edge of the box. Few shouts for a handball, doesn't get given, and every time this ball is being cleared by New Lambton, much to the delight of the home fans. And they'll park the bus here. Another one lofted forward. It's Verity now. Verity loses out, and I think he will go into the book for a challenge on O'Connor. He's been strong tonight in the New Lambton midfield.
Yeah, he's been really impressive. I think Tommy O'Connor's a class player, young lad as well, and he's been a leader tonight for New Lambton. Just diffusing that opportunity there. Verity unfortunate to probably get into the books there with the yellow card. I think it was just a slip, but nonetheless, it again diffuses the attack for Charlestown and just gives New Lambton a bit of fresh air at the moment. They're going to go long, of course, get it out of this half, trying to keep it in Charlestown's half for the remainder of the game.
I think it's sort of the scenario now where you can sort of say it's now or never for Charlestown. It's not where they want the ball down the other end. Jaguar Hurt just sends that one out, and Charlestown really need to get the ball up the other end quick, fast. It's Verity to launch this one forward. They'll look to commit numbers forward now. It's now or never. Taylor Regan doesn't win that header against Piddington. That ball again lifted forward, but it's Josh Piddington there to win the header.
Every second ticking over for New Lambton now is gold. At the moment, Matty Hoole looking to go long.
It will fall out right to Cousins. Needs to deliver. They've got the numbers here. It's Ryan at the back stick, cleared by Christopherson. Only as far as Verity. He lofts one back in. Once again cleared. Kent Harrison here can run this down the line or just yank it.
Anything's good at the moment, Scobie. I know how important this game is, and we're edging so close now to New Lambton's first 3 points of the season.
A huge result. The fans are riding every step of the way. It's Verity now, driving inside. Doesn't got many options, but uses Ryan. Ryan's touch. Has he kept that in? He hasn't. And it's a goal kick, and you can hear the reaction. It's probably the loudest they've been all night. And there it is. New Lambton have their first win of the season. Huge night at Alder Park. And it's been a long time coming, but it's their first 3 points. And you can tell by this reaction down here with the fans. Incredible result. Like we mentioned, that takes them to 6 points on the ladder. Caleb Reid double seals it for the hosts. Buttes, what a game to call. Charlestown, we knew they'd come out fast in the second half, just didn't have enough to go and get that equaliser.
Yeah, 100%. And look, they tried to get themselves back in the game, and they did through Cousins' header. Brilliant ball from Verity. It was the only goal of the second half to Charlestown. But New Lambton stuck strong. They held out a couple of massive saves from that man Elkinson in goals to save New Lambton. But well deserved. You know, a cold night, Tuesday night at Alder Park. It's their first 3 points of the season, and it hasn't come at a better time. They've got a massive month of football and a remainder of the season if they want to get out of the relegation battle scopes. But impressive from the home side. A little bit disappointing for Charlestown as they've got a tough schedule ahead of them
They sit fourth currently at the moment, pending results tonight and the remainder of the this round. Yeah, massive results, Scobie.
It is a very disappointing result, on the other hand, from a Charlestown perspective, who just couldn't really find their stride tonight. But everyone, thank you from myself, Harry Scobie, and Matthew Butner. Thank you for your company tonight. And just a friendly reminder that every game across the 2025 NPL season in both men's and women's is live and free right here on YouTube. We are signing off from Order Park as New Lambton running out 2-0, 2-1 winners in this round 13 catch-up clash.
Oh yeah, nil all, that's decent. Boys, you're gonna better than last time we played. Well done, bro. Killed it. That was really good, eh? Let's get over it. Do you need a hand me?
Actually, anything I'll ask.
Yeah.
When you're back down there,